Okay, thank you very much. We all know the great Prime Minister of the UK, and we just signed a document. This is, sorry about that.
This is it.
A
very important document.
Little windy out here. Give me that. We just signed it, and it's done. And so we have our trade agreement with the European Union, and it's a fair deal for both. Going to produce a lot of jobs, a lot of income, and we have many other ones coming. But you see the level of enthusiasm is very good. But the relationship that we have is fantastic. So I just want to congratulate you.
Well, Donald, thank you very much. This now implements on car tariffs and aerospace, our really important agreement. And so this is a very good day for both of our countries, a real sign of strength. So thank you again, Donald. A really important day for both of us.
Great people, great people.
Has anything changed in the agreement since you spoke on the phone from the Oval Office?
Not much.
Nope.
Not much.
This is implemented.
Can I ask you a question, please? G7 leaders are calling for de-escalation in Israel and Iran, but you are the key to unlocking that.
That's right. And here I am.
And here you are.
Yeah.
So can I ask you, sir, have you spoken to Prime Minister Netanyahu? When might you speak to him?
I've spoken to everybody.
What will you say?
Israel is doing very well, as you probably noticed. And I gave Iran 60 days, and they said no. And the 61st, you saw what happened. Day 61. So I'm in constant touch. And as I've been saying, I think a deal will be signed, or something will happen, but a deal will be signed. And I think Iran is foolish not to sign one.
Mr. President, Iran is accusing Netanyahu of attacking them to deliberately derail your nuclear plan that you had. What do you say to that? Do you think that's
No.
And
Look, Iran should have signed the deal.
if it would help bring Iran to the negotiating table, would you guarantee that the U.S. would not get involved militarily?
Well, I think Iran basically is at the negotiating table. They want to make a deal. And as soon as I leave here, we're going to be doing something. But I have to leave here. I have, this commitment. I have a lot of commitments. I have a commitment to a lot of countries, including the UK, where we just signed our deal.
Mr. President, where are you settling on steel tariffs with respect to the UK? Are those going to zero, or are they staying?
We're gonna let you have that information in a little while.
Russia-Ukraine talks, sir, on U.S.-Russia talks, when will they restart?
They're starting already.
Mr. President, do you agree to the European push to apply more sanctions on Russia? Does the US support that?
Well, Europe is saying that, but they haven't done it yet. Let's see them do it first.
You told me earlier that you could sanction Russia. Why wait? Why wait to sanction them?
Because I'm waiting to see whether or not a deal is signed.
Can you guarantee the UK won't be subject?
And don't forget, sanctions cost us a lot of money. When I sanction a country, that costs the U.S. a lot of money, a tremendous amount of money. It's not just let's sign a document. You're talking about billions and billions of dollars. Sanctions are not that easy. It's not just a one-way street.
Mr. President, on AUKUS, the submarine agreement, is that still proceeding? You've initiated a sort of review of that.
Yep, we're proceeding with that. It's a really important deal to both of us. I think the President is doing a review. We did a review when we came into government, so that makes good sense to me. But it's a really important...
We're very long-time partners and allies and friends, and we've become friends in a short period of time. He's slightly more liberal than I am, to put it mildly.
Always stand slightly on the left.
But for some reason we get along.
We make it work.
On Russia. There are quite a few British voters who worry you side more with the Russians over the Ukraine war. Can you reassure British
No,
people
no.
that
I just, you know what I side on? Saving lives. I only care about saving lives. We have nothing to do with it except that Biden stupidly let us get into that mess and gave him $350 billion. $350 billion. And yet, despite that, you saw how we did in the Middle East. We took in $5.1 trillion. We have $15 trillion almost, looking around that number, going to be invested in the U.S. So the money is not the thing in this case. It's 5,000 young people are being killed every week in Russia, Ukraine. And if I can stop that, I'll be very happy. They're Ukrainian and they're Russian. So you could say, what am I doing? But I'd like to see if I could stop it.
Would you consider going
do you think that Israel can fully eliminate the threat that Iran poses, this nuclear threat that they pose without the United States military.
Who said that?
No, I'm asking if you believe they can.
Well, it doesn't. It's irrelevant. Something's going to happen.
Have you
Mr.
spoken
President,
to
would
the
you
legislators?
consider traveling to the Mideast as part of any talks if it would help broker a deal?
Yeah, but I think we're doing pretty well. We're talking.
You don't think
We have a thing called a telephone, so we're talking. But it's always better to talk in person.
Mr. President, do you want to see regime change in Iran?
I want to see no nuclear weapon in Iran, and we're well on our way to making sure that happens.
And we've had a discussion about that this morning. There's in the G7 absolute clarity in relation to the nuclear program. We do not want to see it.
Mr. President,
do you have a response?
about
What?
can you guarantee the UK will be protected from any future tariffs?
The UK is very well protected. You know why? Because I like them. That's why. That's their ultimate protection. Thank you very much. The Prime Minister's done a great job. I want to just tell that to the people of the United Kingdom. He's done a very, very good job. You know, he's done what other people, they've been talking about this deal for 6 years, right?
6 years.
And he's done what they haven't been able to do. So he's done really a very good job.
Do you have any response to Tucker Carlson criticizing you, saying that you were complicit in the war?
I don't know what Tucker Carlson is saying. Let him go get a television network and say it so that people listen.
And quickly,
Thank you.
Have you spoken to Zelensky before your bylaw?